Hi everybody. So in this video, I just wanted to give you an overview of some resources that you can use to assist you as you move into making sure that you are submitting a final draft of the literature review this weekend, so due on Sunday. The literature review that you're going to be composing is going to be a document that turns your literature planner that you already created into a paper. So you do have, if you submitted a copy of your planner, you should have feedback on that. Make sure you look over it before you convert into the paper. So one of the first sources that I want to go over is the sample literature review. This is linked in the week 3 announcement. It's also, you can find it in the learning materials for this week or for this unit. And I highly recommend that you go through and actually look through it. The reason being because this document is set up with the APA formatting. So this is how your paper should look, like your paper should match this. And the nice thing about this is it shows you the different headings that you can include. And these headings are taken directly from your planner. So instead of introduction, this is just the title of your paper again, but this paragraph is essentially the introduction from your planner turned into a paragraph. The research question analysis section, that's going to be the same deal. It's going to be your research questions taken over from that planner and turned into a paragraph. That's summary and analysis of source 1. Same thing. First paragraph is going to be the summary, and notice that it has this opening rhetorical sentence that includes the publication, it includes the author, it includes, in some cases it'll include, like down here, the title of the article itself, just a little bit of rhetorical information introducing the source that you are including before you get into the paraphrases. When you look here, this paragraph is the analysis paragraph, so that's taken from those analysis questions. And then the same goes for the summary and analysis of source 2. Summary paragraph, analysis. And I would highly recommend actually reading these analysis paragraphs because they give a good idea of how you can convert the CRAP test into a actual paragraph, sort of analyzing the whole article. The reflection section, this is taking those reflection questions and turning them into a paragraph. Conclusion, same thing. And then last but not least, the references. One thing I am going to include as a resource in the announcement where I post this video is an article that is the summary writing article that just kind of goes over some basics of summary writing. So you can click it, just get like kind of a refresher on writing a summary. And then another thing that I'll include is an APA template that you can use. So you can follow the formatting of the APA template in order to get your APA title page looking in good shape. And as far as these subheadings go, like conclusion, reflection, summary and analysis of source 2, you can use these exact same headings and this exact same setup in your paper. Just make sure that you change the one that is the title. Instead of saying introduction, we have the title here. So obviously that's going to be your title. Everything else, you can use these exact same subheadings to divide up your paper because you're going over the same things as the sample paper. So highly recommend checking that out. Another thing that I wanted to show y'all is just this APA reference guide. This is a really helpful reference guide for using APA. For the most part, it looks like you've done a pretty good job with APA. I do want you to keep an eye on in-text citations. So that would be located here in the How Do I Cite Sources in My Writing. And then the other thing I want everyone to be aware of is references. I saw a lot of references that were not in APA format. So I just want to go over really quickly a couple resources for that. So if you're finding your articles on a database like ProQuest or SIRS, if you're using this citation, which is something that it has, you can choose to have the citation for your article created for you and you can copy it, but it's going to default to MLA 9. And that's not what we use. We use APA 7. So make sure you're switching that before you're copying this into your references page. And keep in mind that these citations work off of a citation machine that may not always be correct. So even if you pull directly from SIRS, I may still have comments for you on your APA. If you're doing something from EBSCOhost, you can do the same thing. Their citation option is over here, Cite. And then you can see there's a lot of different options. You're going to want to copy and paste the one that is the APA 7th edition. If you're using Credo, their citation machine is not working right now. I tried to pull up Credo as an example, but it's not pulling any. So if you're using Credo, or if you've found your sources on the internet, I'm going to recommend that you use the citation generator CiteFast. You can just Google it. It's right here. Make sure it's set to APA 7. And make sure you're choosing the right type of source. So if you found just a general web page, you can put the URL in here to make your citation. If you are looking at an online newspaper, or if you are looking at a scholarly journal, you need to change that accordingly. So you need to be able to identify the type of source you're using to get the right reference. But if you do that and you input the right information with the right source in the APA 7 tab, using that tab, you should get a reference that is in APA 7 formatting. So those are just a couple things that I wanted to address based on the general feedback that I had after looking over everyone's planners. For individual specific feedback, please go check out your individual feedback comments through D2L. And that is a list of resources that I hope will be helpful for you as you work on that paper.